Hello and welcome back. Today, we're digging into the numbers from a major player in the metals and mining space, Hindustan Zinc Limited or HZL.
That's right. HZL is a Vedanta Group company and holds the title of the world's largest integrated zinc producer. They are also among the top 5 silver producers globally. Domestically, they have a massive market share, around 77% for primary zinc in India. They also have several wholly owned subsidiaries, including Hindustan Zinc Alloys Private Limited, Vedanta Zinc Football and Sports Foundation, Zinc India Foundation, Hindustan Zinc Fertilizers Private Limited, and Hind Metal Exploration Services Private Limited.
Quite a significant company. So they've released their audited financial results for the fourth quarter and the full financial year ended March 31, 2025. These were approved by the board on April 25, 2025. We'll be looking at both the consolidated and standalone figures today.
Correct. Let's start with the consolidated picture. For the fourth quarter of FY25, revenue from operations came in at 9,087 crore rupees. That's a solid increase of 20% compared to the 7,549 crore rupees in the fourth quarter of FY24.
A 20% jump in revenue year over year for the quarter, that's strong. How did that translate to profitability? Let's talk EBITDA first.
HZL reported a robust consolidated EBITDA for Q4 FY25 at 4,816 crore rupees. This is up a very impressive 32% year-over-year from 3,637 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. They actually highlighted this was their second best quarterly EBITDA ever.
Wow! EBITDA up 32%. What about profit before tax or PBT?
Consolidated PBT for the quarter stood at 3,782 crore rupees, significantly higher than the 2,723 crore rupees in the same quarter last year.
And the bottom line? Profit after tax or PAT?
Consolidated PAT for Q4 FY25 was 3,003 crore rupees. That's a massive 47% jump year-over-year compared to the 2,038 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. They actually noted this was their best ever fourth quarter PAT. So strong revenue growth and even stronger profit growth in the quarter.
Best ever Q4 PAT up 47%. That's quite something. What about the full year picture for FY25 on the consolidated side?
For the full financial year 25, consolidated revenue from operations reached 34,083 crore rupees, up 18% year-over-year from 28,932 crore rupees in FY24. This was their second highest ever annual revenue.
Second highest revenue ever, up 18%. And the full year profits, EBITDA, PBT and PAT?
Full-year consolidated EBITDA was 17,465 crore rupees, a 28% increase year-over-year from 13,677 crore rupees, also their second highest ever. Full-year consolidated PBT after accounting for exceptional items was 13,553 crore rupees compared to 10,307 crore rupees last year, and the full-year consolidated PAT came in at 10,353 crore rupees, up a very healthy 33% year-over-year from 7,759 crore rupees. This was their second best annual PAT.
Okay, second best revenue, second best EBITDA, second best PAT for the full year. Clearly a very strong FY25. How did the standalone results compare? Any major differences?
The standalone results are very similar to the consolidated ones, which isn't surprising given the nature of their subsidiaries. For Q4 FY25 standalone, revenue was 9,041 crore rupees, up 19.7% year-over-year. PBT was 3,749 crore rupees, and PAT was 2,976 crore rupees, up 45.7% year-over-year. For the full year, FY25 standalone, revenue was 33,969 crore rupees, up 17.4% year-over-year. PBT was 13,464 crore rupees, and PAT was 10,279 crore rupees, up 32% year-over-year. The trends mirror the consolidated picture closely.
Got it. So consistent strength across both. What about earnings per share or EPS?
The consolidated basic EPS for the full year FY25 was 24.50 rupees, up significantly from 18.36 rupees in FY24, reflecting that strong 33% PAT growth. For the quarter, it was 7.11 rupees versus 4.82 rupees year-over-year.
And did other income play a big role in these results?
Other income was definitely a contributor, but not the primary driver of the profit increase. On a consolidated basis for the full year FY25, it was 983 crore rupees, slightly down from 1074 crore rupees in FY24. For the quarter, it was 227 crore rupees. On the standalone side, the figures were quite similar.
Okay, with EBITDA up strongly, let's look at the margins. What were the EBITDA margins like?
HZL achieved an impressive consolidated EBITDA margin of around 53% in Q4 FY25, which is up about 500 basis points year-over-year from 48% in Q4 FY24. For the full year FY25, the consolidated EBITDA margin was about 51%, up 400 basis points from 47% in FY24. These are industry-leading margins.
51 to 53% EBITDA margins. That's very strong indeed. What about the net profit margins?
For Q4 FY25 consolidated, the net profit margin PAT divided by revenue from operations calculates to about 33%. For the full year FY25 consolidated, it's around 30.3%. So very healthy conversion of revenue to net profit as well.
Were there any exceptional items affecting the PBT and PAT this year?
Yes, there were. For the full year FY25, both consolidated and standalone results reported an exceptional loss of 83 crore rupees before tax. The notes explain this relates to settling matters for land tax under an amnesty scheme, 27 crore rupees provision, and a provision for environment and health cess, or EHS 56 crore rupees, following a Supreme Court judgment clarifying the state's right to tax mineral rights.
Okay, 83 crore rupees in exceptional charges. Duly noted. Let's shift to the balance sheet. What are some key takeaways from the consolidated balance sheet as of March 31st, 2025?
Looking at the consolidated balance sheet, total assets stood at 34,490 crore rupees, slightly up from 33,895 crore rupees at the end of FY24. Total equity was 13,326 crore rupees, down from 15,195 crore rupees, primarily due to significant dividend payouts during the year. Total borrowings, long-term plus short-term, amounted to 10,651 crore rupees, up from 8,456 crore rupees last year. They did mention in the press release that their net debt reduced significantly towards the end of the quarter, down to 1,169 crore rupees as of March 31st, 2025, supported by healthy cash and cash equivalents of 9,482 crore rupees, including investments.
So equity down due to dividends, borrowings up, but net debt position looks comfortable thanks to strong cash reserves. How about cash flows?
The consolidated cash flow statement shows cash flow from operations for FY25 was strong at 14,160 crore rupees, up from 13,346 crore rupees in FY24. Cash used in investing activities was 2,706 crore rupees, mainly due to purchases of property, plant and equipment, around 4,000 crore rupees, and net investments. Cash used in financing activities was substantial at 11,411 crore rupees, largely driven by dividend payments, totaling 12,253 crore rupees.
12,253 crore rupees paid out in dividends. That explains the drop in equity. What were the dividend details?
Yes, the notes confirm they declared a total interim dividend of 29 rupees per share during FY25. This consisted of 19 rupees per share declared in August 2024 and 10 rupees per share in May 2024. That's a significant return to shareholders.
Definitely. Now HZL operates primarily in zinc, lead and silver, but they also have a wind energy segment. How did these segments perform according to the consolidated segment report?
As expected, the zinc, lead and silver segment is the powerhouse. For the full year FY25, it generated revenue, including other operating income, of nearly 32,904 crore rupees and a profit before interest and tax, PBIT, of 13,939 crore rupees. The wind energy segment is much smaller, with full year revenue of 137 crore rupees and a PBIT of 62 crore rupees. Unallocated income net of expenses contributed around 730 crore rupees to the overall PBT. The vast majority of segment assets, around 23,741 crore rupees, and capital employed, around 13,345 crore rupees, are also tied to the zinc, lead, and silver segment.
So wind energy is a very minor part of the overall picture. The main story is clearly zinc, lead and silver. How would you summarize the overall performance in FY25?
It was a year of records and resilience for HZL. On the operational front, they achieved historic high mined metal production 1095 kilotons and refined metal production 1052 kilotons. Critically, they also achieved their 4-year lowest zinc cost of production, or COP, at $1,052 per metric ton, down 6% year-over-year. This cost efficiency, combined with record sales volumes, higher zinc and silver prices, a stronger dollar, and strategic hedging gains, drove the excellent financial performance. The second highest revenue, EBITDA, and PAT ever recorded.
That cost reduction is key. They mentioned a zinc COP of $994 per metric ton in Q4, which was even lower. What drove that cost performance?
According to their press release, the lower COP was driven by improved metal grades and recovery, better domestic coal availability, higher byproduct sales credits, softened coal prices, and general operational efficiencies. Their increased use of renewable energy also helped.
Makes sense. Were there any other significant events or notes from the reports or releases we should highlight?
Several important points. The board approved the transfer of general reserves to retained earnings via a scheme of arrangement, which was sanctioned by the NCLT. Operationally, besides record production, they surpassed 13.1 million tons of metal reserves for the first time, maintaining a mine life of over 25 years. They achieved their highest ever domestic zinc sales and value-added product share. Financially, they generated strong free cash flow, maintained their AAA credit rating from CRISIL, and contributed significantly to the government exchequer, 18,734 crore rupees, up 42% year-over-year. Also noteworthy, HCL was included in futures and options trading on the National Stock Exchange from March 2025.
What about management commentary or outlook?
The CEO, Arun Misra, highlighted the record production driven by operational efficiencies, AI integration, and digitalization leading to sustainable cost reductions. He also emphasized their commitment to clean energy with the Serentica renewable power deal. The CFO, Sandeep Modi, pointed to the strong Q4 PAT and second-best annual revenue and EBITDA, driven by structural cost reductions and operational excellence, positioning HZL well despite market volatility. They also provided guidance for FY26. Mined metal production is targeted at 1,125, plus or minus 10 kilotons. Refined metal at 1,100 plus or minus 10 kilotons, and saleable silver between 700 and 710 metric tons. Zinc COP excluding royalty is guided between $1,025 and $1,050 per ton, with growth capex projected at $225 to $250 million.
Okay, clear guidance for FY26. Any updates on major projects?
Yes, the 160 KTPA roaster at Debari is expected to commission in mid-Q1 FY26. The 510 KTPA fertilizer plant is progressing and targeted for completion by Q4 FY26. They are also implementing new technology for lead, silver recovery at Dariba.
Lots of positive operational and financial news. Now the crucial part, the auditor's report. What did SR Batliboi and Company, LLP have to say? Any red flags for the consolidated or standalone results?
This is a key positive takeaway. For both the standalone and consolidated results for the year ended March 31, 2025, the auditors, SR Batliboi and Company, LLP, issued an unmodified opinion. That means they found the financial statements give a true and fair view and are free from material misstatement, essentially a clean bill of health.
An unmodified opinion for both standalone and consolidated. That's excellent news and provides significant comfort regarding the reported numbers.
Absolutely. The consolidated report does include an other matter paragraph, which is standard, stating that the results include figures from subsidiaries audited by other auditors, and their opinion relies on those reports. Both reports also note that the Q4 figures are balancing figures derived from the audited full-year results and the unaudited 9-month results. But the main conclusion is clean. No qualifications, no adverse opinions, no emphasis of matter paragraphs raising concerns.
Great. So strong performance, positive outlook based on their guidance, and a clean audit report. What's the final word on HZL based on these FY25 results? And the usual disclaimer, of course.
Disclaimer: we are not financial advisors. This discussion is for informational purposes only. Please consult with a certified financial expert before making any investment decisions. Overall, Hindustan Zinc delivered a stellar performance in FY25. Record operational numbers, significant cost reductions leading to industry-best margins, very strong profit growth, and substantial returns to shareholders via dividends paint a very positive picture. The unmodified auditor opinions on both standalone and consolidated accounts add credibility to these strong results. The guidance for FY26 suggests continued operational strength.
So the key drivers seem to be operational efficiency, cost control, and favorable commodity prices, particularly for zinc and silver.
Exactly. While the company has demonstrated excellent control over costs and production volumes, its profitability remains linked to global zinc and silver prices and input costs like coal. However, their low-cost base provides a significant cushion compared to global peers. The successful execution of their ongoing projects, like the new roaster and fertilizer plant, will also be important for future growth.
Excellent summary. A strong year for Hindustan Zinc, backed by solid operations and a clean audit. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in.
Join us next time for another earnings breakdown.